citizens usually make resolutions with targets. The government sets policies and pursue reforms. Expectations also are usually high across board for new grants to be broken. What does the new year hold for Nigerians? What should the people expect? What are the possible outlook in the economy, security, politics, and governance? For those hoping to go into small businesses, what are the possible survival strategies? Where and what should Nigerians demand more accountability from their leaders? In the political front, there is also serious political realignment going on. What should be the consequential implications? These and more are some of the issues this program will be dwelling on. As our guest on the highlights, we'll be looking at the new year 2026 and what Nigerians should expect. I am Kingsley, I'm a radio anchor. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With me in the studios to take a look at the issue I've just raised before that short break. I have with me the National President of PETROA, that is Petroleum Retailers Outlet Association of Nigeria, Dr. Billy Sotubo Harris. Dr. Harris, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to all of us in River State and Nigeria. And we hope that 2026 is going to be a very productive year for us as a country.
Also with us in the studio is the State Chairman of Chartered Institute of Bankers Association of Nigeria, River State Charter, Mr. Nkwachuku Njogo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley, and our viewers all over there. We expect that Nigeria will move forward this year. Thank you.
From High Prep, we have Dr. Nilali Michael, who is also joining us on the program. Doc, welcome to the program.
Good morning, presenter. Good morning, viewers. I just finished from High Prep. I've had the second time in High Prep. I just finished. Welcome to the program.
All right. Our guest will join us in the course of this program. When he comes on board, we will be introducing him. All right, we would like to take a look at the soundbite talking about what the viewers, the people on the streets are talking about with respect to expectations in 2026. Before we come back to the studios, let's take a look at the soundbite.
Approaches like this, every responsible individual have their respective visions, projects you want to achieve in the course of the year, which requires funding and other things. So we are trusting that this year God will help us to meet with all of our projects.
It will make people the centerpiece, the focus of our governance. Having been elected, one will believe that if you have to take any decision that is strategic, better respite in 2026. I am sure I am speaking the minds of the majority of the people. At this point in time, we are not, particularly myself, I'm not interested in who is right or who is wrong. Can we allow this state to have some respite, to have some peace? This, to my mind, will be suited to the nerves and the sensibilities of an average Rivers people.
Now, the God who has helped everyone to come into 2026, that same God has plans on how to handle the affairs of men if you focus on him. He said, looking up to Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Because who you look up to determines what you look up to you.
Welcome back. Let's open this conversation with Dr. Harry. Dr. Harry, you've heard the perspective of those people that are out there in the city of Port Harcourt, their perspective on the new year. Let's get your thoughts. The outlook for 2026.
Well, 2026, just like every other day, is one Friday, one Thursday that has just happened, out of the many Thursdays that were there in the year. So, to me, it's a blessing, a great blessing for us that we are alive and hoping to change the narrative for us as Nigerians, especially as us, as Rivers people. I heard what Senator Uchendu just said, and I so much align with him, as much as I align with Senator John Mbata's statement. We have to stop this kind of grandstanding, focus on what should be beneficial for us as Rivers people. Because once Rivers State is stable and Rivers State is growing, it will impact Nigeria positively. But if this type of bric-a-brac politics is introduced again into Rivers State, after we seemingly have a peace deal that is already put in, what is wrong with the governor of the state being the leader of the party? In every other state, in Borno, the vice president, that's the second citizen of Nigeria. He's not the leader of the party in Borno state. He's the governor, Professor, the Prof that is the governor, that's the leader. And in all other states where you have ministers, you have speakers, you have Senate president, they all come from different states where their governors are the party leaders. So what exactly is wrong in Rivers State? 2026 must stop that completely. And we should speak up as to what is not right. We must speak up what must not be done. Because as Rivers people, we should be tired of taking sides here or taking sides there, and we are the ones who are losing. Because these people who are there fighting, they all have their homes and their food and everything secure for them. And the ordinary man in the street of Rivers State is suffering. So 2026, we are hoping that these matters will be resolved. And other than that, the economy, we hope that it should improve. We are hoping that the president will look into the case of the tax issues that have been creating different kinds of hula baloo there, and then, address the minds of Nigerians so that the country can grow. There are countries today that are not even looking at tax as a source of revenue. So we need to also look at how our economy grows. Thank you.
Mr. Pachuku, let's get your opening thoughts. 2026, what are the outlook for you from your own perspective? Should Nigerians expect much?
Thank you, and thank you our viewers there. For me, 2026 is a brand new year with many expectations. Economic expectation, political expectation, especially in these two areas, among other expectations. Let's look at the political first, starting from our dear state, Rivers State. I think that we need peace. We need peace among our political leaders. We need them to do something that will place Rivers State in the position that Rivers State is supposed to be in Nigeria. We are tired of this fighting, noise making. We want people to come up with ideologies, developmental agenda, things that will bring harmony and improve security in Rivers State. All of us cannot be one political party. It's happening. Look at Akwa Ibom. That's a very good example. The former governor, nobody will hear about him. The immediate past governor, nobody is hearing about him. And Akwa Ibom is also there doing his own thing. The current governor is doing his own thing. And people are at peace. Please, we need peace. Our politicians should help us. All of us are politicians. But I tell you that we are tired of Rivers State being seen as a troublesome state. That is one. Then, economic perspective. This year, looking at the outlook, as presented by the president. You know that the blue tax regime has started already, it's in place, starting from yesterday, the 1st of January. So what we have to do now is to buckle up for individuals, for businesses, enterprises, and for corporations. We have to re-strategize to ensure compliance and also to improve the profitability. The tax, if we actually count down to read through the new tax law, you see that what, from my own perspective as a tax expert too, I think that Nigerians should calm down and know how to reduce their tax liabilities, looking at various tax loopholes in the system already, about 50 tax exemptions and reliefs that people can enjoy, especially the low income earners. So you see that, generally speaking, the tax is progressive, and because it's progressive, the people that will pay are the people that are earning large income. And if they don't pay tax, who else should pay tax? People that are earning 50 million, 20 million per month, if they don't pay tax, who else should pay tax? So, for us to move forward this particular year, economically speaking, we have to look at our various businesses we are into, then engage consultants to advise us on how we reduce our tax liabilities, how we will take our various deductions, that at the end of the day, the tax that will be paid by either individuals, businesses, or enterprises will be low. It's just for us to capitalize on those tax loopholes that are already there. With regards to the allegations of insertions that are not part of the original document, it should not stop the implementation, but it should address immediately. I believe that the executive and the legislature should just come up with some people and also bring some people in the private sector, consultants, to get those areas corrected and also put them back in the system, so that the allegations, which I've also seen, the allegations where the powers of the court or the powers of the judiciary were taken out, will be reinserted into the act and we'll just write on. But it's very important we continue with this tax regime, because one is going to improve our the revenue that is coming to Nigeria. Two, is going to reduce the dangerous dependency on oil and gas or revenue, and also make people that are earning income to pay tax. A lot of people are earning free income, large money in this nation, but they don't pay tax. We can talk more about that.
I will come back to you as somebody that's from the Chartered Institute of Bankers. Later, you will maybe lighten our topic more, where what they need to do and what they stand to get. Let's get the opening perspective, Dr. Onyela.
Thank you, Kingsley, and welcome, viewers. I want to lay credence to some of what my elder speakers have said. Politics, economics, and I will also add the security dimension into it.
First, also key.
Which is very key, germane to our polity. As a former chairman of Alliance for Democracy, AG, as former chairman of Congress of Progressive States, and a founding member of APC, I want to say that APC as a party has a procedure. It is not a rigorous party. It's not a party of misfits. APC is a party that was properly grounded by a gamut of other political parties to be. And so, I am not averse to persons, like I stated last week in my statement, that people can come into the party. We welcome new members to the party. In fact, we also welcome the governor, who has also come into our party. That's what the party wants, to grow from strength to strength. And so there's the structure of the party. When the governor was doing his registration in the party. The chairman of the party made him 001. I didn't know it was the party chairman who gave him the registration number 001. And so, there's no been saying the fact that the first person in this party today, even though we're all founding members of this party, is the governor of the state, Abacha this position. So we are not debating, that one is not, we are not debating that at all. To that extent, I don't worry about leader or no leader, because I don't think that even the president himself has one day come to state the public to say he's a leader of this or that. He's the president, and by that value, he's the leader of all. The governor is the leader of the party, but Babangida is the leader of everybody in the state. So you can be a leader to whoever finds appointment for you or fends for you. He could be your leader. But somebody who does not make me anything can also be my leader. So to that extent, I'm saying that yes, there's been noise, the place has been rancorous, and we should stop it. We should just stop it. APC is grounded on principles, and it is that principle that has driven us to this height by removing sitting governors, sitting presidents of this country. We are taking over. We must consolidate on our gains. We should not do the mistake of the past, where people will come, make certain mistakes that can run the party into disrepute before our people. Now, let us equally state that this year, a lot is expected from government. We wasted a lot of time in Rivers State over nonsense issues that are not supposed to be. What our people want is food on their table. They want good roads. They want electricity. And I think that if we support the government of the day today in Rivers State, we will get all those. Rivers State is one of the richest states in this country. Unfortunately, it's been bereft of. We've seen a couple of things that have denied our people those gains, those political gains ought to be. And so, like I said, that should stop. And in the new year, let's find ways and means of addressing the needs of our people. They are poor. They are hungry. They need shelter. They need good hospital. The other day I was in Bori General Hospital trying to offset bills of a lot of persons who couldn't pay. And they were dancing. You see the infrastructure on ground here. But why are they put to ban these facilities? They don't exist. So I'm saying that we should close ranks, just like Richard said. We should close ranks with the government and also the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Let's all close ranks and then see that our people get the best out of this present government. I know this president. I trust him. I had worked as an associate with him when he was governor of Lagos State. I was chairman of AD here. I was in Abasa all the time. I had experience in this until we now recruit into the APC. And I know that he means well for this country. He does mean well. His antecedents in Lagos will also point to the fact that he means well. And so when people ask me, I said, support this government. He will do well. Now talking about economy and the tax issues, our friend in the banking sector has addressed it sufficiently. I think that what is good is what doing well. The tax had gone through all the rocks in the National Assembly. They debated that the public hearing, it has all been done. Let us give it a try. Let's not talk about demonstrations. Let us not talk of pulling it down. Let's give it a try. After all, this is the first novel thing we've seen. The National Tax Act, NTR, as it is called, is something that we must allow it to operate. My only advice is that let every sector of the populace, let every region pay the tax. Let there be no exemption to any group or sections or persons. Let it be that everybody pays this tax. And let us see how far it can take us economically. And security-wise, I think that the government has done well by having an alliance with powers that be to see that our country has some peace. We've had it this bad all these years. And whatever cooperation we need to have with with bigger nations to enable us achieve the security needs of this country. We should support it. We should support it. We should also pray for it. And so, and let us also call those who are agitated, those who want to govern themselves. I know there are a lot of ungoverned places in this country. Why we are saying it, those persons, these are persons who, for no just cause, but I don't see a reason why everybody has equal political representations in this country. And so, what you want, you can express it through your councillor, your House of Assembly, your reps, your senators, and your governors. There is no need for what we are saying today. It's just unfortunate that we've turned our country into crisis, which is needless. We don't have to. So, as a conclusion on the opening aspect of it, let us say that this year, I think it's going to be promising. A lot of things are going to come. Nigeria is going to be good. People are going to enjoy. We are going to work hard to see that our individual and collective aims are realized.
Let's get your thoughts, Dr. Harry, on security. He has talked about the collaboration Nigeria is currently having with other foreign nations. And how do we make progress this year, 2026? What are the safeguards you think citizens need to adopt?
Well, first, I think it's there's a need for a very strong political will to do this, because there is no individual or set of individuals that will be bigger and more powerful than any government, including government and the local government. So if the political will is there, and we design our security architecture properly to suit and fit our purposes, it's very easy to wipe out insecurity. Because the issue of security is local. There is no security problem that we can say is imported from outside without a rat in the house showing the way. So if there's a rat in the house showing the way, there must also be some cats in the house that can, take those cats out. So we need to talk about our local security structure. We are hearing that the state police will be encouraged and empowered and enacted as a policy. It is one thing that should be done. What is the feedstock of our crime? Is lack of employment, poverty, hunger. So with these three elements, people who are able-bodied, that are even managed to go through the four walls of university, are easily sucked into the vortex of this violence. So if we have a very well-designed process to develop our local government, our states, and our country, we can easily engage all of these forces into productive value. Now, if you look, I'm just coming from Hawaii. That is a road that in the last 20 years, it will take you 8 hours to get to the campus. Today, I did it for 1 hour, 45 minutes. Because there is a governor in Abia State who has taken that as a very frontal developmental issue. What has that done? It has opened the roads, it has made people to come back to Aba, and they're still crying because you still have to be careful where you move on the road, your phone, you have to be careful what kind of vehicle you enter. But all the same, this infrastructure has already started reducing the value. Plus, there's electricity. So right now in Abia State, there's lights, there's electricity, solar, and also powered by the fossil fuel and gas. So we need to focus on how to mitigate all our security challenges. Now, when we get to the issues of what has happened in December, where strikes were orchestrated by foreign powers in Nigeria, I have my reservation because we're a sovereign country and we should clearly be in charge of what is to be done in our land. Because we've read in the pages of newspaper, television, now the government has given
support in terms of intelligence and all that. So we're happy to hear that. But still, the need to collaborate, not just only with foreign superpowers, but also our neighboring countries, that we really begin to understand the role Nigeria played in ensuring that these areas are secure. Today, we are running to stormy waters. We need to get them to know this. And I believe it's going to help us. But more than anything else is, let us develop our internal control of how to make sure our security is monitored from our own local government, our large plan, and
Mr. Mpaka, cannot I submit security, government, and economy? When you look at why I make protection in this area, but also want to be shared like because the issue you raised before, there have been so much fears among people, especially the small traders, the implication of the new tax. These fears are there real, and how should they approach it in terms of sustainability of jobs?
Okay, thank you. I want to talk briefly on the security aspect in Nigeria. For me, insecurity in Nigeria is a canker war. I mean, it's a perma war, a caterpillar that is eating up the juicy aspects of the national economy of Nigeria. It's destroying the basic foundation of our economy. Agriculture today has been reduced to the barest minimum performance-wise because of insecurity at all levels, including in Rivers State and particularly in the church where I come from. This past December, all we are addressing in the community is insecurity. How to ensure that women, farmers go to their farm freely and come back without being raped or molested. Those were the things. So for me, we need not just from political will, we need traditional leadership will too. Because from my own assessment, most traditional rulers there are drawn from people that were either past radicals or things like that. Just check around. So insecurity must be frontally addressed if Nigeria is to make or move forward this year economically. Then, with regards to the micro, small, and medium enterprises, or the unbanked, in the year 2026, and the way the new tax regime will impact them, they have to be wise. One, they must ensure that their businesses are structured. Structuring is the basic foundation for micro, medium, and small enterprises. They must ensure that there is adequate record keeping, because the taxman will not accept any verbal explanation. There must be documented evidence. They must ensure there is compliance. If they don't know how to comply, they should reach out to consultants, experts, tax consultants, who will direct them on how to maintain their books, including large corporations. And also, they must pay on time, do their filings on time. It's going to tax office does not mean you are going to pay tax. Some is just to document, send a documentation that this month I have 0 transaction. You report. And also make sure that you know your tax account officer, so that you can easily communicate with that tax account officer. Any month, as an MSME, you did not make any, you tell him or her that this month nothing came, because tax is only on income. It's not based on whatever people have been saying. that any money that comes into your account will be taxed. No, it's fully on income. It's based mainly on income. So any income was properly documented. That is why this is not.
All right, let me come back to Dr. Muyala. Now, you gave us a background, your background in terms of politics. We're looking at 2026. Governance is a key area people want the government to deliver. In what areas should the people demand accountability? And given the political realignment we have seen, not just in the state and across the country, what will be the implication and how should the citizens look forward to whether it's done?
Yes, I have had discussions with a couple of political groups, and I have told them that everybody needs to be calm, politically this year. Don't just play to the gallery. Don't look at what noise in the system. You need to sit back and watch carefully the events, the unfolding events in the political system. How do I mean? We have a government that took over and has been setting policies that ordinarily any government that seeks re-election will not do. Some of the innovative policies, some policies that, for instance, look at this tax act, the Grand Tax Act, streamlining all the tax laws and acts that have been in Nigeria to a unified system to ensure that people pay correct taxes and not paying several taxes at the same time and crying all over the place. Now, for you to introduce that type of radical change, it means that you probably would have been toying with your second term. But the president with the bold face has to take it to see this is what is needed for this country as of today. You see, then we're talking about state police. Again, we've been toying with this idea for a very long time. But I know, as a progressive, from beginning, from the start of politics, the advent of politics is in the Second Republic, all we've been saying is there should be state police. If you look at the manifestos of the AG, AC, CPC, it has been that let us be able to check this insecurity from the grassroots. Then you go to the crannies of our different relatives because you cannot govern a place you don't know now. You cannot. It is only those who know a place. Like I know the criminals in my place, I know them. You cannot come from Borno to know what exists in my village, in Boa. I know my people. If I stay here, I call the chiefs. Are you sure this place, have you gone to? Who was his father? Who is the father of this person? This person being recruited. Who from which home does he come? So this is what state police is going to do for you. Align those who know the terrain, who knows the structure of governance, who knows the inroads of the place. And it has been, like I said, it has been the cardinal objective of the Tinubu administration from our division. So I'm not surprised now. Again, people will fight it because they don't understand what it means. And so some of these policies that the president is embarking upon, I think that will change up. Yes, we've been crying in the initial stuff, but I think the times of waiting are over. So I think that we must support the government. We must support the government. We must not look elsewhere. We must support the government at the federal and the government at the state. Because we need to lend ourselves to the center. The last state has been in opposition. I've seen time people criticizing the government at the federal. I have mostly been at the federal. Because I don't like what has been operating in the state for the past 12 or 14 years. And I've not been to government house for the past 14 years. I was a regular visitor to the government house. But because I don't know what has been happening successively. So I think that, one, we should be hopeful. We must look up to the president of this country. Like I said, he's the president, and I trust him that he will deliver. Let us also have hope on our governor of this state. The way we can, but very, very serious. I think he's one of the most serious governors in this country. He's calm, he's respectful, he's diligent. We should support him. We should give him a chance to operate in this state and rule like others have ruled, so that those of us who have not had the opportunity, those sections who have not had the opportunity, will also aspire to become governor. Governance is something everybody wants. So, one, support governance. We have no order. Support governance. Everybody should also be allowed to play his own politics, but not to destroy the order.
I will sincerely thank Dr. Michael Mealagi for your thoughts on this program. When we're going for a short break now, when we come back, this program continues. Stay with us.
It's one of also the ills we have experienced from our past elections. But if we don't checkmate and put some of these things that are going to aid effective electronic voting, we are going to fall back. If you want to invest wisely on assets, you must invest on things that generate returns.
We are running this state by law. When the law has spoken, every voice of dictatorship, every voice of emotion, every voice of support, every political tourist attraction that we have told the state to be will be silenced for the law has spoken.
Money over billions have been sunk into the bill. Go and check whether the money is still in that. So how many persons do you tell this of this contract to engage? How many percent are passwords?
Welcome back. It's been still our discussion on the new year 2026 and what Nigerians should expect. Joining us in this segment of the program is Ambassador Benjamin Abadnego, the state chairman of his party. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay. Let's open this segment with you. 2026, like you just said, what should Nigerians expect, especially from the political perspective? You know you are the chairman of one of the political parties in Nigeria. Let's get your thoughts.
Okay, thank you. Happy New Year, Rivers people and Nigeria in general. In Rivers State, I think the hopes are high, and as people who are peace-loving, we should keep it that way. However, we should not expect much. I would say Rivers State has been somehow unfortunate to find herself in this position we are. In other states, immediately after general election, governance comes to play. But in Rivers State, it's been one political meeting to the other. And this has affected us. Why do I say we should not expect much is because, for example, the song I found that the governor wanted to reactivate immediately he took over office from his predecessor. It was a very brilliant idea because that would have engaged so many persons. Even if the governor wanted to reactivate that farm now, can the farm produce from that facility hit the market this year? That is the question. How long will it take for him to reactivate it and benefit the people of Rivers? So many other projects are being halted because of politicking in Rivers State, which has taken us very backward. That is why, not that the government is not willing to do the needful to benefit Rivers people, but the situation we find ourselves as Rivers people has left us almost helpless. And I just plead with the governing class to have mass people of Rivers State and allow us to breathe fresh air.
I think I want to remember with you, we have seen a number of political realignments, not just in Rivers State, across Nigeria. What do you think will be this implication on governance in 2026? Implication on governance. You talked about job creation. Of course, we know the implication of unemployment to security. For you, what would be your perspective? What would this do in this implication of governance?
Political realignment is a normal thing in politics. We are heading to 2027 and this year is going to be a very busy year. So political realignment in politics is something normal. I believe it will encourage competition, and the government, like for example, the government Senator Bravo, we don't know, he has not declared his intention. If he intends to recontest, definitely he will look out for the best and inject it into his government, and that will bring more development. However, with what is happening at national level, we cannot predict who wins 2027 because it's going to be very competitive. The ADC and Boot Party, other parties, making bold steps in recruiting people who are competent enough to man the affairs of Nigeria. I believe Nigeria is heading for a better future.
Let me go back to Dr. Hari. Dr. Hari, the outlook in governance, what are the key areas you think government should pay close attention as it affects the populace in 2026?
There's a subject that is so troubling to me, and I think I will just use this opportunity to address it. We went into the political governance from a civilian perspective in Rivers State in 1998. We started actual campaigns, and in 1999 we got to go. 8 years after, so much of Rivers State money was spent to pursue the objective of the university, and we didn't get it. Thereafter, another 8 years came, and another governor that came into Rivers State spent so much resources in building up to fight for the election that brought in General Muhammad of blessed memory. Again, Rivers State resources, a lot of it spent there. Now, after that, we have another governor that stayed 8 years and have spent so much resources in trying to become president of Nigeria, and he did not get it. Now, having reached that point, I would have thought that all of the leaders of Rivers State who came in by the providence of God, not so much that they are so much qualified for it, that God has given favor to them, they should have sat down and looked at the dynamics of how the politics works. Because so much of these resources could have been channeled to developing a city in Bolu, developing a city in Degema, developing a city in Okei, developing a city in Bonny today is developed, but it could have been developed a lot more. And so Rivers State today, by the policies of government, could have easily had up to 10 cities by the size of the money. I mean, again, comparing it to just what has happened in Abia State in just only under 2 years. So certainly something is not right with the mindset of those who were recruited to become governors of Rivers State. Today we have Governor Simlai Ekura. However he emerged, he has demonstrated that he's an all-inclusive Rivers leader. He has demonstrated that. And he has also demonstrated peace, he has demonstrated calmness, he has demonstrated developmental mindset to be able to make policies to work for the growth of Rivers State. And so you see the size of work. Yes, he inherited quite a lot of good projects from the past administration of Governor Wike. So many good roads, so many flyovers that made transportation very easy. Of course, we give him the credit for that. But thereafter, this troubling situation where one individual is looking to control the policies and the structures of how governance works in Rivers State is a problem to us. So that is a major issue that should be resolved and discussed and analyzed and brought out. Now you cannot get that clearly if you did not go back to 1998. Because I recall in 1998 we didn't even have money enough to do the kind of things that is now making Rivers State the bride, the financial bride of every political aspirant, national political aspirant. By 2000, by 2000, we had started having the mega budget that was coming to Rivers State. And up until now, without us seeing what Governor Simlai Ekura is doing, and also reporting to us daily weekly, monthly, on how much he has received and what they are being used for, we would not have known. That River State has so much money to be able to drive the policies that can grow the state. I don't think we should get back to that. This is the reason why I think we should give peace the best chance and give Governor Simla Ifubara all the support that he needs. Yes, former Governor Wike is our son, and we love his developmental activities. We love what he's doing in developing the Federal Capital Territory. We can gain from there also as to what, not just grandstanding and politicking for almost everything, the very minor things, very, pedestrian issues become major political discourse in Rivers State. And why must Rivers State be always in the center of this type of, argument? So, in 2026, my thinking is that government policy for Rivers State should include one, total peace. There should be a structure, a roadmap developed for total peace. Total analysis of what Rivers State could have been in the last 24, 25 years that we are not. And let anybody that's now going to be governor, why not? Why won't Governor Simla go for a second term if he's doing well? If the project is doing well, if he's bringing about, it's going to save the average Rivers man, put food on the table, address their poverty, address their human capacity development, we should be able to give Governor Simla the best support to get to where he wants to get to. Then at this point, we need to really, really stop the pedestrian politics and look at developmental politics for River State, so that we can also be the state to compete with. That is what I think we should do in 2026. Other than that, the issues about development should be our major focus. Like my brother from Chase said, our traditional rulers have a role to play. They cannot keep quiet in the face of, insulting onslaughts on our leadership in this state. Every king, every should speak out. Every amenable of any kind of description should be able to speak out when something is not right. That is what morally they're supposed to do. Because there's a moral compass in that community, and we should be able to, both in security and administration. There should be a new model of inclusive leadership, policy development, policy implementation to Rivers State. And I really encourage the FCT minister, the governor, all of them to be working together for the development of Rivers State. But other than this, I think we, as indigenous of the state, must now rise up and say what is not correct, not to be playing to the devil.
I took something from what Dr. Harris said. He talked about inclusive governance. It's not that now, what should inclusive governance translate? What should be the nature of inclusive governance in 2026 in Rivers State?
Okay, thank you once again. With regards to the question you asked, and also to focus on political governance in Rivers State, I think the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has a critical role here to play. And that role is based on his relationship with his minister for the FCT, that is our former governor, Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike. He should know that the governor of the state, Governor Singh, has defected to the APC. They are more or less in the same family. And I expect that the president should call the FCT minister and tell him that this governor is not in our family. Therefore, there should be peace in Rivers State. Inclusive leadership or inclusive governance cannot happen without the President of Nigeria standing up in this year, in fact, in this quarter, if not from this January, and calling on the FCT minister, because politics have actually started seriously in our state. if you are the kind of person that listens or goes around, if you go around the River State to see what is happening, it has started. So the president needs to call the FCT minister and tell him the governor of River State, Governor Sim Fubara, is now representing me in River State. He is the leader of APC in River State. And if you are to work with me, or work for me, or work for the Renewed in 2027, you have to work in harmony with this governor. That is very, very important. And to make it more inclusive, the local government leaders, local government chairmen, the councillors, and also the party leaders at all levels in River State have to be incorporated to respect the leadership of the current governor of the state and also give him the necessary support.
This should be part of the process so we are out of time already. Let's get a perspective of what governance should be in 2026 and also expectations from the public, the citizens. What do you expect them to do?
Thank you. I expect that the government at all levels should be made to be trusted, to make promises they can keep. Going back to when this present administration came on board, the federal government came on board, the first statement that was still fresh in our memory is when he said that the subsidy as we know is gone. And to be frank, that brought tears to the eyes of Nigerians. And for all political parties, especially the smaller political parties that do not govern any state, maybe those few local governments, our members was affected because we are not in government. So I'm speaking on their behalf that those baby steps they asked us to endure, we are still enduring. The loans that was obtained, the pains of high exchange rate, we are still enduring. Now the tax regime has come, we will still endure. Let government be trusted. When they keep their promises, the people will tend to trust them more. This is what Nigerians expect from the government. And if this is achieved, I want to believe that Nigeria will become a better place and things will be better for everyone.
All right, sincere gratitude to Ambassador Benjamin Abadnego, State Chairman of Good Party, River State, and also the Chairman, Chartered Institute of Bankers Association of Nigeria, River State Chartered Party, Dr. Billy Harry, President, Patron, and as well Dr. Michael Nialagebo, LLM, who signed off in the course of this program. We sincerely thank you all for your thoughts on this conversation. This is where we end today's conversation of highlights. Next week, we will be here to bring you another edition of this program. Have a good day.